Shalom, first and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatir from the Chicago camp. Coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this one is a really tragic story, but it's the judgment of the Lord. All right, about this chick named Nakira M. Griner. And yeah, I'm just gonna let this play.
Let's talk about Nakira Griner. I bet you're wondering, how did this woman get a life sentence without possibility of parole, plus an extra 7 years? Well, let me tell you. Nakira is 28 years old, and she lives in South Jersey. And she got a life sentence without possibility of parole, plus an extra 7 years, because her 2-year-old son wouldn't eat his food. Now, when her 2-year-old son wouldn't eat his food, her resolution for him not eating his food was to crush his skull into 74 pieces and then put him in the oven and cook him. And after cooking him for some time, she took him out, buried a hole in her backyard, put him in the hole, covered the hole, and then called the police and said, "My son is missing and a man attacked me and abducted my son." Yeah, so the police came with bloodhounds, and the bloodhounds did what the bloodhounds do. The bloodhounds found her son's remains in her backyard, and they charged her with homicide. They'd offered her a plea deal. They said, "Look, you unalived your son. We get it. This happens every day. No big deal. You unalived your son. We're offering you 30 years if you plead guilty to first-degree murder." She was like, nah, I'm going to take it to trial and fight it. Because yes, I unalived my son. Yes, I crushed his skull into 74 pieces. Yes, I dismembered him. Yes, I cooked him. Yes, I buried him, but it was unintentional. So she took it to trial on the premise that she did all that, and it was unintentional. So she lost trial, and she was given a life sentence without possibility of parole, plus an extra 7 years for the desecration of a corpse. Yeah, so let this be a cautionary tale to you men out there. Please be careful who you have kids with. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Otherwise, you might end up with a woman like Nakira Griner, who's 28 years old, from South Jersey, who got a life sentence without possibility of parole, plus an extra 7 years for desecrating the corpse of her 2-year-old son because he refused to eat his food. Yep. Let's talk about...
Man, I can't lie. Even though I understand the scripture, this one was a hard one to watch. Like, wow. You know what? This is why the apostle elders on down tell us they're not just talking to hear themselves talk. All right. When they tell you you need to vet these women, you need to vet these women. You have to. I know in our camp personally, the elder Malcolm, the elder Uriah, they've been telling guys ever since I came into this truth and been with these guys, which is a little over a decade. They have been telling guys, young guys, like in their 20s, guys in their 30s, guys in their 40s. You have to vet these women out. Because you don't know what you're getting into. Because many of these women are not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you what type of issues they have or what they're so-called bringing to the table. Where Ecclesiasticus 25:13. And it says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, which is the mind. And it says, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. What this mother did to her child was absolutely reprehensible. And the mere fact that we live in a time where mothers just, and we ain't even getting on the Planned Parenthood thing. That's a whole nother subject. We talking about children that are fully alive outside of the womb and have been in the world for, I can't even say some time, but we'll just say children that were not prematurely unalived. It's a very sad thing when we've come into a world where mothers doing this to their children is a normal thing. This just goes to show you how much wickedness is on this earth. Let me read that again. Ecclesiasticus 25:13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Because there is no limit to what a woman will or will not do. As the scripture says, Ecclesiastes 7:26, and I find more bitter than death. How can something be bitter than death? You don't think that there's anything that can be bitter than death, but the scripture says that there is. Let's read on. I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Meaning that her whole mind is about games, sabotage, getting over, whatever the case may be. It's not right. Even to this woman's very end. Oh, I'm a woman. I can roll the dice. I'll get off. I can just say it's unintentional. Like the man said, yeah, I bust his head in 74 pieces. Yeah, I dismembered him. Yeah, I cooked him. Yeah, I buried him. Yeah, I even lied about the whole thing. However, I think I can beat this. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to roll the dice. To the very end. Snares and nets. It's a game. That man, that's a wicked woman. Fellas, please be careful. Be very careful. You have to, I can't stress that enough. The apostle elders on down can't stress that enough. You have to be careful. Be circumspect. Use wisdom and understanding. We have the best cheat sheet in the world to help to prevent us from getting into dangerous situations. And if we happen to get in one, it still has the cheat code for us to get out either unscathed or as least scathed as possible. Wow. I can't. It's really hard to put into words like what mind would do that. But as we all know, the scripture says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. We all know the scripture also says whoever perished being innocent. We also know the scripture says, is there evil in the city and the Lord have not done it? Even with this, this is really messed up, guys. You gotta be careful. Verse 16 in Ecclesiastes 25:16. It says, I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with the wicked woman, the two most fiercest creatures in the world. The king in the jungle and the king of all mythical beings, a dragon. Two things that as a man, you absolutely stand no chance against if you were to get into a fight. It would be sure death. I'd rather be in a situation that's for sure that I am going to die than to keep house with a wicked woman. Verse 17, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Man, you see this chick mugshot. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. Just a empty shell of darkness. It says the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. And it reminds me of what's that other one? Matthew 6:22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be of darkness, how great is that darkness? And man, you see this woman's character, her whole demeanor, her face, her eyes, her everything was just dark. You could tell she had no. Let me see if I can find one. Let me see if I can find one, because that's.
Somebody did it again. Let's talk about Nakira Griner. I bet you're.
Look at that.
Dismembered and then.
Look at that face. Just dark. No pity, no remorse, no nothing. Be careful when dealing with these women, especially a certain clientele, which Elder Apostle Tahars has been speaking out quite frequently in a lot of his sit downs. Stay away from this woman in particular. Stay away. I know it ain't every one of them. This I know. But as a whole, stay away. Get with the other women of our nation. Hell, even get with the heathen women. But as far as it pertains to this type of clientele, stay away. So that's all I want to say on this. Hope you all ratified. Till the next time, we're going to say shalom.